Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. Apparently, the BBC ran an article, and in some ways, what's gonna happen in this video is in some ways a follow-up to yesterday's video about, just the media and the media circus surrounding COP26. So we're going to kind of touch on a few related points, but I think it's very important that I get a massive content warning and trigger warning out of the way here. This video is going to have mentions of sexual assault and rape. Boy, yeah, we sure do have fun here. So the article in question from the BBC is titled, "We're Being Pressured into Sex by Some Trans Women." And it's this massive piece that's basically, asking the question, are some trans women predatory? One of the people that the BBC features in this article is Cade. And for those who don't know, Cade is a porn star, specifically a lesbian porn star. And she is very much documented, well and truly horrifically documented, as sexually assaulting and raping numerous women and models while they were in positions of vulnerability. And yet, here's the BBC, supposedly one of the preeminent public broadcasters of the world, basically interviewing her without mentioning this or outright refusing to include her because someone clearly didn't do their goddamn research. And that's what I want to hit on. This is just yet another example of the media being lazy. We saw it yesterday with the quote-unquote media coverage of COP26 feeling more like entertainment TV rather than any kind of true journalism. There's this now horrifying piece from the BBC talking about, this Cade person says she thinks that some trans women are predatory. It's like, she is a predator herself. Did no one at the BBC take 5 minutes to figure this out? And then they ran this story, meaning it cleared not only the journalist, but probably a second reading by, check this over for me before I send it to the editor. And then it also passed the editor. And did no one doing research or background checks know that Cade is a terrible person? And then also recently, we had CNN kicking off a guest when they were rightly criticizing their quote-unquote news coverage and how objectively bad it was. Mainstream media has gotten so incredibly lazy, and I'm not entirely sure of all the reasons why, but I definitely know something that is contributing to it, and that is, of course, capitalism. I really need to get around to just doing that long-form content of capitalism ruins everything. But the way in which capitalism is ruining media is that since, especially in America, you need clicks and ratings, right? So what you have to do is you have to chase the popular trending stories. That means less money and time for actual meaningful investigative journalism. This is also in many ways what killed local news, because all we saw in the mainstream news was what people wanted to see and hear. It basically became a parable of entertainment TV. And when you also have something like a 24-hour news coverage, that means lots of other things fall to the wayside. Hence why people are rightly calling out CNN for terrible coverage, because it's just got to be 24/7. Here's a dog who actually saw the murder. It's honestly getting really ridiculous. And so between the CBC, the BBC, and CNN, we have at least 3 recent examples of news media organizations. Again, really significantly large ones. We're not talking about some new little outfit out of someone's garage or basement with 4 guys and a modem, right? These are large, international, supposedly well-respected media institutions, but because they have kept chasing trends and, what's going to give us the ratings, what's going to give us the clicks, what's going to give us the advertisement dollars, that has resulted in a net loss of meaningful coverage, and it's just helped to facilitate, alongside the whole 24-hour news format, just this really blasé and careless atmosphere where no one does even a fraction of research anymore. And that's a problem, because then that just adds to more people not trusting the media. And then they're going to trust other even worse sources, because On the first hand, it just reinforces what they want to hear. And on the second, they know, well, I can't even trust the mainstream media, so maybe these people spouting the conspiracy theories are actually right. That is a problem, and that does not help discourse or keeping an informed populace, which is kind of necessary for democracy to truly function. So yeah, those are some ways in which capitalism and chasing the almighty dollar has helped ruin news media. But it is so infuriating to see the BBC put out this massive article, which again, just, change a few words in the title. And if it may sound racist or terrible or sexist, if you swap, say, the gender, the race, the religion, and this seems kind of problematic. There you go. You've done a better job than the BBC. How sad is that? The BBC ran a piece featuring a known sexual predator while they are clearly trying to attack trans people and make them all out to be, oh, well, yep, some of them are predators. And so that's it's all really bad. Oh, trans people bad, trans people evil. I'm not going to share some of the horror stories of what Lily Cade has, said and done over the many years. I don't think anyone needs to see or hear that. But I think it's worth mentioning that she is not a good person at all and very much a predator. The BBC, in a piece about predators, interviewed a predator, and no one caught this, and no one decided to either mention it or just completely strike it from the article. That is supposedly what passes for great and wonderful, in-depth British journalism these days. And unfortunately, like I've said, it's not just the BBC, it's CNN, it's the CBC here in Canada. It is so many news organizations throughout the West because unfortunately, these days in a capitalist world, they need to chase ratings and get ad revenue, which means things are going to slip through the cracks, especially as they try and get as much audience catchment as possible, hence the whole 24-hour news format. And these things, along with a variety of other factors that I just don't have time to mention, are all collectively conspiring to ruin not only the media, but discourse and in turn democracy. All this terribleness is connected, and it's really sad to see the media be so lazy when we supposedly rely on them and try and trust them to not do that. And yet here it is in 2021 with the world at our fingertips and with so much information and just evidence kept all over the internet, whether they're on cached pages or not. You would think that these places could do better, but unfortunately for all the reasons I listed, they aren't. And it's not going to get better. And that is definitely what's bothering me today.